If you're hiding behind the excuse of, I'm just not ready yet, then this video is for you, because visibility isn't something you wait for. It's what activates you to that next level. When I first started showing up online as a mystic and as an entrepreneur, my branding wasn't perfect. My offers were not crystal clear. In fact, I don't even think I knew what an offer was, let alone what it actually did for people. Not a great thing if you're trying to start a business. And honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm an academic and I have a corporate job. I didn't know what it was like to run a business. And for years, I struggled to actually make any real progress because I was so afraid of waiting until I was ready. But that moment, I stopped waiting to be ready and just did stuff. People started listening. I attracted my first clients. I actually sold stuff online. Who, me? Okay. And more importantly, I became that version of myself that I wanted to become. The confident, visible, mystic entrepreneur. But that is not how I started out. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through why being visible before you're ready is actually the fastest path to alignment, growth, and sales. And I'll show you how to do it without cringing, feeling like you're a fraud, or worried that you're trying to be something that you're not. Imagine this, you post your first offer. This is your first product that you're putting out into the world. It's not perfect, but you're so excited about it and it feels so good. People start to DM you and actually tell you, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. You start receiving, literally, you start to see sales in your email box going ka-ching, ka-ching, and money rolling in. You're receiving not only attention, but impact and income. Not because you waited until everything was perfect, but because you chose to be seen in your process, which is not perfect. Sound a little counterintuitive? I know, it took me years to figure this out, so I'm gonna tell you why it's intuitive instead. But first, let's get real about why you're actually hiding. You think you need to look like an expert first, or come across like you have everything figured out. That's understandable. There's a lot of pressure out there, especially in the social media space, about, well, everyone's perfect and life is just dandy. We're in this culture where everything is like meticulously designed and crafted and edited, and there's no messiness or even realness behind a lot of what you see on social media. Naturally, we go into a comparison phase where we compare ourselves to others when actually there is no comparison at all. If you think about it, how can you compare yourself to someone who's been doing Instagram or YouTube for 10 years and you literally just started or haven't even made your first video yet? No comparison. You might also be hiding because you're afraid of judgment. Gosh, this one hit me hard for so long. I was so afraid of getting judged by people that I knew, especially from people on Facebook. It's one thing not to care about what some stranger on the internet thinks about you, but oh my gosh, your aunt, your childhood friend, your coworker, game over. Another reason why you might be hiding is because you don't want to fail publicly.
Everyone's gonna see how much you suck.
Triggering? Then you're onto something. Because here's the truth. Waiting to feel confident is not gonna get you anywhere. Confidence doesn't come first. It's what comes after years of practice or thousands of repetitions that make you feel confident because you know exactly what to do and how to do it. But you actually need to do the thing to get there. So if you're trying to become visible on the internet or in your business or even in your community, then know that it might take some practice to get there. And that confidence grows because you have become visible. It doesn't shake you anymore when people look at you or watch your work or are understanding or seeing what you're putting out there. In fact, you feel really good about it because you've done it before and people have seen you and acknowledged you, and it feels great. The problem is though, the longer you wait, the more disconnected you're gonna become from your own voice. And you might actually end up wasting years of potential that you could be building a business around or sharing your gifts to the world. Believe me, I know, because that's literally how I spent 5 years of my life. Back in 2020, when I founded Mystic Twist, I had no idea what I was doing. And then at some point, I got super freaked out and stopped for 4 years. And then I realized sometimes you just gotta do stuff and practice in order to get better. And I no longer let that fear of being seen stop me because I was so afraid of feeling judged or ridiculed for not being perfect. The ironic thing is, most people online resonate with you more if you show that you're not perfect. It's totally counterintuitive, but it's the truth. Because let's face it, how relatable are those people who have everything figured out? And they're probably kind of assholes, am I right? So here's how we flip the script. Instead of waiting for readiness, we step into realness. Step 1, claim your role, even if it's messy. You don't need a 10-module course or to be a professor in order to be a teacher. You just need some kind of way to express what you've lived and experienced. And depending on your style and preference, that could be by starting a Substack and writing articles, or posting videos of little short snippets that you've learned, let's say gardening, or maybe it's something else entirely. But the point is to claim your role and your experience, even if it's not perfect. I have wasted so much time and energy waiting for the perfect product or waiting for the perfect opportunity or situation to start. If you want to waste lots of time and money, well, then do that. If you don't, do something else. And in my experience, once I just started to step into and be whatever it is that I am, this weird tech nerd, mystic, anime loving entrepreneur, okay, great. And I guess some people out there resonate with it. Awesome. Way better than letting that be an excuse or waiting for people to judge me when honestly it doesn't even matter what they think anyway. So allow yourself to be seen as being messy and imperfect, and claim whatever role it is that you feel you embody. Maybe you're a teacher or a healer or a cook or some type of, expression of light worker that really resonates with you at a deep level. Whatever that thing is, claim it and own it. And then just start to share it with people, with the world, in whatever way you start to feel comfortable with. Which leads me to step 2. Start small and be consistent. So back in 2020, I created my Instagram account, and I had never used Instagram before. I literally didn't know what it was besides pretty pictures. But I was told from people, hey, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to get on Instagram. So I started to post random stuff, and I had no idea what I was doing. Eventually, I just dropped the whole thing, and well, 4 years later, I finally started to post on Instagram like a business person. Now, the one thing that got me from 4 years of no posts to doing it once a day was this. I allowed myself to suck. So I was comparing myself to those professional influencers who had the most amazing Instagram profiles on the planet and probably put tens of thousands of dollars into their Instagram every single month. But I chose not to compare myself to those people. In fact, I decided to just do one thing every day and keep it super simple. Back in October of 2024, I made a promise to myself to post one thing a day. I didn't even say it had to be good. I just said that I would post once a day and would see what would happen. This was actually some advice that I got from another business coach online, and it really resonated with me because the message behind it was just get started and do stuff. You'll naturally get better the more you practice. But if you're frozen because, well, you don't want to be seen or you don't know what to do, the only way to get over it is to do it and get better. So that's exactly what I did. Now, I didn't really know what to post yet, so I took some online courses and figured out how to Instagram, and I stumbled across this space called faceless marketing. And basically, I just made posts using stock photos and videos and put through the messages that I wanted to convey to my audience, which generally are around spirituality, being high frequency, and embodying the new paradigm. I just wanted to start to form a habit of what it would be like to be a content creator, and more specifically, be a real business owner. And then something really interesting started to happen, which is step 3. Let people witness your becoming. You'll grow faster when your audience grows with you. So for example, I was starting to get used to this Instagram thing. I learned the difference between reels and stories and carousels, and I had fun doing it. Now at this point, I was still doing faceless marketing, so I wasn't actually showing my face because I was so afraid to become visible and put myself out there fully. Even more so starting a YouTube channel. I mean, I'm not exactly a spring chicken. I'm 37 years old, and when I look around on YouTube and Instagram, there's a lot of very young, gorgeous women who are talking about content, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not me. So I really put myself in this sticky situation because, again, I was comparing myself to other people, which I shouldn't have done. And I let that be an excuse to not be visible. And then at one point, I got sick of myself. I got sick of living in fear. I got sick of being small. I got sick of being invisible because I freaking want to help change the planet. And I realized that that means you gotta become visible. I mean, let's be real. What person who has truly impacted the world or has this massive following or causes great influence is invisible? It doesn't really happen like that. So I decided to shift and I posted my very first video of me being on camera. Honestly, it's a really bad video. I had no idea what I'm doing. I'm not very good at the selfie thing, and I didn't even know like what to do. Like, what do you do in a video? But it didn't matter. I just said to the world, I'm becoming visible. Here I am. And that's exactly what I said to my audience. I'm becoming visible. Want to do it with me? And here's a really interesting thing that happened. Once I made the shift from faceless marketing, which basically I had been doing for 6 months, to face forward, like literally putting my face on things, whether it be my YouTube, Instagram, or even images in my newsletter, things started to change. I literally had people in real life, not just like instant messaging me, but actual friends and followers in real life come up to me and be like, wow, Kara, I really like your new content. It's way better than what you were doing before. And I was like, really? Me? Because I'll be real, I have a lot of insecurities. I feel like most women on the planet probably do. And in this consumer culture where we just have crazy expectations of people, we put a lot of stress and, you know, all these programs on ourselves about not being perfect enough. And then when I just said, fuck it to all that and put myself out there, people responded in a really good way. So let people witness your becoming. Show how you're not perfect, but you are trying to grow, and you're inviting people to come alongside you and grow with you. This is a far more relatable and connective way to be as a business person, especially in a spiritual or high frequency company, because it's all about connection, and forming that connection and relationship with your audience is ultimately really what matters. And here's what happened. I started to become visible and feel more confident in being visible. So if I had waited until I was ready to become visible, I would still be doing what I was doing for years ago, which was jack shit. Taking that first step to post that very first video on Instagram, on YouTube, was super scary. I felt insecure and vulnerable. Now, I did do the fear processing exercise on it, and that definitely helped, and it's what put me over the edge to actually do that post. So there is a mystical element behind this too. But at the end of the day, you also just have to go out and do stuff in order to get more comfortable. Just like posting content or writing every day, or whatever it might be. So if you're a spiritual entrepreneur trying to step out into the world and really make an impact, if you feel like you haven't made that impact yet, it's probably not because of lack of clarity. It's because of a fear of exposure. And when you move through that fear by literally processing it and also acknowledging what's going on, then things can start to shift. Because being visible is an energetic yes. You're telling the universe that I'm here, I'm available, I'm ready to receive, and I want to connect. It also says that my message is important and ready to be seen. And that energy is what magnetizes people to come to you to connect. It's also what builds momentum, and with momentum you get more practice, and with more practice you feel more confident, and with that confidence you're seen by the world. So if this message resonated with you and you're feeling that gentle push to finally be seen and step up your game, then click the like button and let the algorithm know that there are more of us out there. And if you want more videos like this on building a mystical business, healing your money story, or turning your superpowers into income, subscribe to my channel because I've got a lot more videos like this coming your way. And remember, you don't need to wait until it's perfect. You're ready to be seen right now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.